They met because of a gun, not at a cafe, not at a party, not by fate wrapped in roses, but in the middle of a gunfire. He was pointing the weapon. She was standing in its shadows, and somehow that was the beginning of their love story. This is not fairy tale. This is love in the shadow of the gun. Lorenzo De Luca ruled the city without apology. The dogs obeyed him, the casinos paid him, the politicians feared him. He wasn't loud, he didn't shout, he didn't threaten. He simply looked at you and you understood. He trusted no one, because in his world, trust was a weakness that got you buried, and love was a liability. He had learned that the hard way. It was supposed to be simple, an exchange at the docks, money for silence, but someone betrayed him. Gunshots exploded through the night, men fell, cars screeched, and in the chaos, he saw her. A young woman crouched behind the cargo crates, trembling. She wasn't part of the deal. She wasn't armed. She didn't belong there. He grabbed her arm and pulled her down as bullets tore through the metal behind them. "Stay down," he ordered. She looked at him, not with fear, but with defiance. "I didn't ask you to save me." That was the first time someone had spoken to him like that. Her name was Sofia Marino. She was a journalist, and she had been investigating him. That night at the docks, she was there for evidence. Now, she had something more dangerous: his attention. He should have silenced her. He should have erased her like he erased others who got too close. Instead, he took her with him. "For your own safety," he said. She laughed bitterly. "You are the danger," and yet she didn't look away from him. Sofia was kept in his mansion, not locked in chains, but guarded, watched, protected. She refused his luxury, refused his food, refused his silence. "You think pointing guns solves everything?" she asked one night. "No," he said calmly. "It prevents problems." "You are the problem," he almost smiled. She wasn't scared of him, and that unsettled him more than any rival ever did. Lorenzo hadn't always been this cold. Years ago, he had loved someone, and she had been killed because of him. Since then, he lived by one rule: never let anyone close enough to become a target. But Sofia was different. She walked into danger. She challenged him. She saw the man behind the gun, and she hated him for it, which made him respect her even more. One night, the mansion was ambushed. Rival factions stormed the gates. Gunfire shattered glass. Men fell. Sofia was caught in the crossfire, and for the first time in years, Lorenzo felt fear. Real fear. He shielded her with his body, pulled her behind him, shot without hesitation. When it was over, he turned to her. His hands were shaking. "You could have died." She looked at him softly. "So could you." And in that silence, something shifted. Later that night, in a quiet room lit by only one lamp, she confronted him. "You don't have to live like this. This is who I am." "No," she whispered. "This is who you became." He told her about the woman he lost, about the guilt, about the blood. For the first time, he wasn't the mafia boss. He was just a broken man. And she touched his face gently. Love didn't arrive loudly. It arrived quietly, in understanding. Sofia had evidence against him, enough to destroy him. She could expose him, end the empire, save herself. Instead, she burned the files. When he found out, he was furious. Why? Because I don't want to win like that. She stepped closer. I don't love the king of the underworld. She placed her hand over his heart. I love the man hiding in its shadows. His enemies discovered her impotence. They kidnapped her. This time, there were no negotiations, no deals. Lorenzo didn't send soldiers. He went himself, alone. He walked into the warehouse where she was held, gun in hand, eyes empty. He dismantled everything in his path, not for power, not for control, for love. When he reached her, tied to a chair but unbroken, she smiled. I knew you'd come. He untied her gently. I will always come for you. After that night, he made a decision no one expected. He began dismantling parts of his empire, selling operations, cutting ties. His men were shocked. You are giving up everything. He looked at Sophia. No, I'm choosing something. The city would always have crime, but it would no longer have him at the top. He stepped out of the shadow of the gun and into the light of something far more dangerous: love. They met because of a gun, but they stayed because of courage. In a world ruled by fear, they chose each other. And sometimes, the bravest thing to do is not pull the trigger. It's lower the weapon and open his heart. This was not a fairy tale, it was love in the shadow of the gun. Thanks for watching this video, and do not forget to always like, comment, share, and subscribe for more stories like this. Stay tuned.